The Vietnam Asset Management Company, or VAMC, was established and began to buy non-performing loans of commercial banks in a bid to clear the debts of the banks. However, this is by no means an easy task in the context that the government and the State Bank of Vietnam have only made initial efforts. The ITV reporter had a talk with Mr. Nirukt Sapru, the new CEO for Vietnam, Cambodia and Laos at the Standard Chartered Bank.
Firstly, congratulations for your time in Vietnam and thank you very much for spending your time being with us today. The first question I want to ask you about, with over 25 years investment in commercial banking experiences in both Europe and Asia, so how do you assess the Vietnamese banking sector and its potentials?
Zong, thank you first of all for your kind words and thank you very much for the warm welcome. I'm really happy to be in Vietnam, and I hope that as I've traveled and worked in many countries, I can try and bring some of the best practices that I've learned from other markets and bring them to Vietnam. So first of all, to answer your question on the general Vietnamese market, I'm very positive about the Vietnamese market. I think the long-term prospects of Vietnam are outstanding. As I say, the best is yet to come. So I think so from a banking sector point of view, I think there are a few challenges in the short term. I think some of the issues around the NPL, some of the issues around corporate governance in the banking sector need to be addressed. And I think those are beginning to be addressed, but a lot more work needs to be done in terms of getting the bad debt situation under control and behind us. I think the setup of the asset management company and the progress made so far is good. So I think a lot more to be done though. Good beginning.
What do you think about the process of dealing with the non-performing loans in Vietnam in recent years? And what are the differences in comparison with other countries?
So I think the Vietnam experience is that they've made a good start. I think setting up the asset management company is one step. Secondly, the banks themselves are looking at ways to restructure their own loans. I think it's critically important that we get the next steps right. I think getting the next steps right include the resolution of loans through the legal system. I think that's an extremely important part of the banking debt restructuring challenge. I think also that the recapitalization of the banks subsequently is also an area where I think maybe some foreign direct investment as well as some Vietnamese investment will help recapitalize the banks. So I think there are two approaches to resolution of banking challenges. I think in some of the other markets, both an asset management company to take over the bad loans and a recapitalization entity to put in equity were established. In the Vietnamese case, the focus is really on liquidity into the banks and the asset management company taking away the asset and then providing the liquidity back to the banks so that the banks can on-lend. Having said that, the banks still have a capital challenge. So I think there are differences and still lots of work to do in terms of resolving the banking sector problems.
In fact, Vietnam has accepted foreign investors to join its NPLs market. From your point of view, what mechanisms should Vietnam set up to allow the penetration of foreign investors?
So I think the fact that the asset management company and the resolution of the banking sector debt includes a foreign solution is a good step. I think it allows market forces to determine the resolution of the banking sector bad debt situation. I think before foreign investors will really seriously participate in the restructuring of the banking sector, I think there are some fundamental issues that need to be focused on. I think that the resolution of the debts through the legal system needs to be re-looked at. And I know policymakers are looking at it and figuring out mechanisms of allowing that to happen. But I do expect that over time, foreign direct investment will come into the NPL sector and will help restructure the banking industry.
Could you tell me your upcoming plans in developing your banking products as well as contributing to the development of Vietnamese banking and finance market?
So Zung, for us, we see a very long-term presence in Vietnam. We are building our business for the future. We believe that the SME sector in Vietnam will power the next level of growth in the Vietnam economy. We want to be strongly participating in the small and medium enterprises. As they become bigger companies, we want to grow with them. So that's one area of very important focus for us. We also believe that exporting companies will be successful going forward. We also want to participate with that, and especially with the fact that we have a very strong international network, or a very strong trade finance bank. We believe we can support SMEs and exporters, improve their skills in trade finance, increase the use of IT and technology in the way they deal with banks. So that's one aspect of areas of focus for us. The second and equally important area of focus for us is around our online presence, online delivery of solutions to our clients, whether they be in the consumer bank, whether they be in the SME space, whether they be in the wholesale banking and the larger corporate space. So really two areas of focus. We want to participate in the growth of the Vietnamese economy in the long term.
Once again, thank you very much for joining our interview today.